Welcome to Hearing the Stories of Our Health, Perspectives of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit Youth, a podcast series produced by the National Collaborating Center for Indigenous Health, in partnership with Birchbark Collaborative. My name is Victoria Grisdale, and I am the host of this podcast. From May to July of 2025, 13 Indigenous youth came together in Winnipeg, Prince George, and Ottawa to develop digital stories on what health means to them. This podcast isn't a polished studio production, it's real talk. It's about Indigenous youth reflecting on their lives, their communities, and what health really means to them in a world that often forgets to ask them. In this episode, First Nations youth, Destiny Henyu-Rinsma, spoke about her healing journey and the importance of mental health. So first, can you introduce yourself with your name, community, and age?
My name is Destiny Henyu-Rinsma. I'm originally from Telegraph Creek, but I was born and raised in Prince George, and I'm 16 years old.
Do you have any future goals?
I want to become a doctor.
Okay.
I've always had the dream of becoming a doctor, but I never really thought that it was going to work out. So when it finally came to me again, I'm like, it's what I want to be, and I'm aiming and working towards becoming a doctor for my future career.
Okay. You feel called to some healing work?
Yes, it's either a doctor, a social kind of worker, or a massage therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are great careers, and I think you would do wonderful in any one of them.
Thank you.
If you could describe what your digital story is about, what would you say?
I would say that my digital story is about like my healing journey, and not just kind of the pain I went through, but like how I overcome the pain and how I overcame it. And it talks a lot about what I was feeling and what kind of happened and my past, and then it also talks about how I overcame it, like I said, and it has two quotes, and I really resonate with both of them. Mm-hmm. One is that the world can be brutal, but it's up to you if you just want to either just survive it or truly live it. And the second one is, it's not about creating yourself. It's not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. And I live by those two quotes because it's very true. It's like, you can either just survive and just skate through life, or you can live and you can pursue stuff that you like and find more interests and hobbies that you like to do. I have a couple of culture pictures in the front of my digital story because as soon as I kind of found my culture and found what I like and started doing more cultural stuff, I kind of started healing a lot of the trauma already without even trying. So to me, culture is a really, really big thing because like it helped me heal and helped me a lot on my healing journey. And like when I go up north, I can feel a lot of the pain coming off.
But I think that is wonderful. And yeah, culture is such a big part of health and healing and helps your spiritual and your mental and physical health in that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is important to you about health as an Indigenous youth? Especially an Indigenous youth that wants to go into a medical career, potentially?
Well, a lot of people overlook Indigenous people and say like that they won't be able to do it because of their past, and how everybody else treats them as like they will just end up in jail or they end up on the streets or anything like that. And to me, it really, really hurts because a lot of people are bringing Indigenous people down, and as an Indigenous person, I would love to overcome that and prove them wrong, because there's people out there that are Indigenous that really want something, and other people are saying something, and it's kind of bringing them down, and it's making them think that they can't do it when they really can. And a lot of it's in the mindset too. Like, just because you're an Indigenous person doesn't mean you can't do something a non-Indigenous person can do. Like, we've survived centuries on our own without electricity or anything, and we learned how to hunt, fish, and all these other things to stay alive throughout like the winter and through the summer. And we prepare food for the winter, and we make sure that we prepare food for our elders too, who can't prepare food themselves for the winter. And as an Indigenous person, I think that a lot of stuff is like aimed at us, which is not really good stuff, like a lot of negative energies towards us. And then some people take that negative energy and they hold on to it and they never let it go. And then there's other Indigenous people who take it, kind of destroy it, and then let it go, because they know that as an Indigenous person, they can overcome stuff. And we have a lot of trauma, like, because of residential school, and it's going to take a long time for like our generations, but like working on it and admitting to the residential stuff and how it hurt and actually healing it will help a lot more. And kind of breaking the cycles would hopefully help non-Indigenous people kind of see what's like happening and how we can overcome stuff.
Yeah, I think that's incredibly powerful, talking about the way in which colonization still impacts us today, especially when it comes to that mental aspect and feeling like we're stuck in a box and have to be this or that when that's not the case. But our potential is limitless as Indigenous youth, right? And there's a million different directions that we can go, and I think it's incredibly powerful to hear you talk about it.
Thank you.
So my next question is, did the workshop impact the way that you think about health?
It helped me kind of realize that my health matters, and that I can still help people with their health, but putting them first before my health is not an option. It never will be, and it never was. But I liked when I was putting other people first in their health and taking the your health matter or their health matters like very, very seriously. And I took it upon myself, and I was such a big people pleaser. Like, I tried to make other people happy. I was changing every little detail about myself to make other people like me and to fit in and to want to be cool and to have friends, because I was Indigenous and I didn't know other Indigenous people. But a lot of times, nobody wanted to be like my friend because of my personality or because of my background or because where I come from or because the color of my skin. And if you think about it, it's really like disrespectful, because the color of your skin doesn't change anything. It just like shows a color that is your skin, and it's like the color of your hair doesn't really change anything. The color of your eyes doesn't really change anything. It's kind of who you are, and like I used to put a lot of people first because of that. And making this video kind of made me realize that putting other people's health first is not an option. And that's the kind of only thing it helped me realize, other than I've went through a really, really rough past, but then I've like kind of overcame it. So it's like it helped me realize two things: that other people's health before yours is not a priority and not an option, and that I did go through hard times and that I did overcome it, and the next hard thing that comes, I will be able to overcome it. So that's kind of what my digital health story kind of helped me out with.
Were there any like specific skills that you learned in this workshop that you were excited and like to learn?
To be honest, a bit of patience.
Yeah.
Even though I said that for one thing in the beginning, the tiniest thing can make me mad. Like, if I drop a spoon and I have to like wash it again, I can get really mad of that. I get pretty mad really easy, and a lot of the times I like hit my own tablet because it's being slow, it's not doing what I want it to, or it's doing something else. And like knowing that these were my tablets and I didn't have the money to pay for them, I had to like calm down and breathe and be like, I can't hit it, I can't throw it, I can't throw something, I can't hit anyone here or anything. And it helped me realize that just stepping aside to kind of breathe and take a moment really helps me with like that kind of anger part. And like, because I haven't fully healed with it because I left it behind. So definitely what I learned from this workshop was definitely patience.
I think that's a good skill to learn. I'm glad this was a nice place for you to practice, you know, and learn some different coping techniques when you're frustrated. And if you did another digital story about health, would there be anything else you'd want to say? Any other untold stories?
No, not for me. The only thing I would add to this story would be my healing journey on self-harm, because I used to self-harm a lot. I'm not gonna say why, but that's like for a different time. I would definitely add, like, I used to self-harm, but now I think it was a year and 9 months clean from self-harming. So I would definitely add that, but I wouldn't change or add anything else.
Okay, that's incredible. And is there anything you'd like to share with other Indigenous youth who watch your video?
Just to know that they're not alone and that it's all about like the mindset. Like, people who say that they can't do it and people say that they can, both will have the same outcome. They will both be right, because it's all about your mindset. Because if you say that you can do something and you work for it and you don't just sit there and say like, oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, I'll work for it tomorrow, I want to go and get a job tomorrow. If you say you can and you believe it and you work for it, you will be able to do anything you set your mind to, and that saying is actually true. I never ever thought that I'd be this far along with clean from self-harm, but I put in the work even though it was so hard, and I had the right mindset because I didn't like the way it looked. It made me look bad. It made me have scars, and I didn't want any more scars than I already have. But just to know that they're not alone, that mindset can really change everything, to work for what they want and not just to sit there and expect it to all be handed to them because they're Indigenous. And to prove anybody wrong who says that you can't do something that you really want to do. And to reach out when you need help, because communication is a really big thing that I am still working on today.
Communication is a great skill to have, and to also be willing to reach out to people when you need it. And so, you know, your story is about your healing journey. How did going through those things and overcoming that impact the way that you view health today?
As soon as I started healing, I started going for more walks. I started to see physical health differently, and instead of physical health just being working out, it can be either swimming, it could be going for walks, doing something fun that gets your breath going and your heart beating. For me, I love to walk. I absolutely love it, but because of where I live now, it's kind of hard to walk around. But it's definitely helped me see a lot more in like my physical health, knowing that it's not just one thing and it can be a lot of more things. My spiritual health, I started connecting with my ancestors more. I started talking to my mom more, and like I started to see the value in my emotional health and my mental health, because a lot of it has to do with like that, like your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual. Those four are like the biggest things. And as soon as I started my healing journey, I kind of got a new point of view on all four of those health, and it's really changed how I see myself and how I see other people and how I want to live them and how I want every single one of those four that I just named in my life in a positive way.
That's amazing to hear. Thank you for sharing. I think that is all the questions I have for you then for today. Thank you so much for joining me for this podcast today. It was lovely to speak with you. You are an incredibly bright young woman, and I cannot wait to see where the future takes you.
Thank you.
To hear more podcasts in this series, head to the Hearing the Stories of Our Health, Perspectives of First Nations, Inuit and Métis Youth on the National Collaborating Center for Indigenous Health website, NCCIH.ca. Music on this podcast by DJ Taj Rashid is licensed and royalty-free under Final Cut Pro software used as part of this project. Finally, a special thanks to the TD Foundation for generously supporting this project.